Welcome to SF Commercial Property Conversations with Bruce Bean, where Bay Area investments meet expert insights. Get ready to unlock the strategies of commercial real estate success.
So today we have Tima Bell with us, and Tima is an architect out of Venice Beach, and it's great to have you, Tima. You have come from a very wild and woolly, shall we call, background. So I'd love to hear kind of a little summary of how you got into architecture from painting and opera singing. Anyway, give us a clue.
Quick summary. Look, the short of it is, and there's some beauty behind this, is while I was at Rice University, I had roommates who were architects. And so the conversation, and I majored in art. And so we'd have amazing conversations, and I was always impressed with their ability to balance the rigidity, the right brain, left brain, as it were. And I didn't think about it, kept going with my art. And as I proceeded in my art, I was growing as an artist, I felt like I needed to be better with space. I needed to understand depth and the phenomenology around space. And I decided to go, or I applied to go to architecture school so I could be a better painter. That was the whole point.
Oh, wow.
Yep. And then as I started architecture school, in the first semester, I met my best friend. His name is Scott Sullivan, and we just hit it off perfectly. And during that process, within that first year, I got hooked. The ability to use math, use physics, use structure, space, and at the same time create with all of those things just married my creative with the rational, and it was an explosion. And that summer of architecture school, Scott and I actually built a straw bale house on a farm in San Diego. So after 1 year of school, we built a house. And that was it. From that point on, I did design build for the first 6 years of my career, constructing everything, staircases, walls, tile, every aspect, light fixtures, electrical, HVAC, I did everything. And then eventually grew into just sort of working on paper as an architect does. Eventually I had a furniture company, and then as it sits now, my eponymous Bell Design Group is my architecture firm. So that's the short of it.
Yeah, that's very good. Very good summary. So what kind of furniture were you designing?
Interesting. It was because of my design build, I understood the properties of wood and metal. I knew how to weld. And I started with a couple guys, and it quickly grew up to 16 people. I was also designing spaces. And so what I was trying to do was be, as it were, gestalt. I wanted to design the space, build the space, do the furniture, and be responsible for every aspect inside of it. So I did a bank where I did all of the bank desks, the conference table, all of their utility tables. I did a nightclub where I did all of the dining, the high tops, the chairs, the bar stools, and the bar. So it was sort of the idea that I would get a job and I would go and build the furniture. Obviously, other designers found out what I could do and started feeding me work as well, and it became actually quite successful until 2008, when everything stopped being successful.
Oh, yeah.
But it was great for about 4 years.
Everything stopped, yeah. So then you were on hiatus for a year or two or whatever.
I was okay. I actually got lucky. This is a great story. My furniture company went away, architecture slowed down, and I actually applied for a job for the first time in my career to 3 places. And I actually went in saying, look, I promise not to quit and take work. I will bring you work. Didn't get hired. I randomly got brought in to permit an elevator because I was good with the city in Los Angeles. And as I was in there, the company that was going to hire me, they had a drawing leaning against a wall of a building. And I said, well, what is this? And they said, oh, that's our motion picture studio. And I said, it doesn't look great. And they're like, yeah, we don't like it either. That was it. I said, thanks, I'll take care of your elevator. Shook hands. See you on Tuesday with some results. I went home. It was a Thursday. I stopped at the model store, and I bought modeling materials. And from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I worked nonstop, and I designed a motion picture studio, schematic design. And when I came in on Tuesday for the meeting, which was for the elevator, I brought in a model and drawings for a motion picture studio, and they hired me.
But that is that the studio that you just finished?
No, that was Siren Studios. It's on Sunset Boulevard. It's not owned by Siren anymore, but at the time it was the first studio built in Hollywood in over 50 years.
Oh, wow.
And it was extremely successful, state of the art. It's still state of the art. Exceptional space to film. Did commercials and streamers, lots of things you probably saw. And then from that, I ended up designing their executive offices, their photography spaces. And from there, my ability to design studios grew, as well as at the same time, we started to foray into affordable housing. And that's where I started doing a lot of affordable housing. Hospitality had always been in my background. The studio was the first big standalone ground up project. And I think, I don't know, maybe other architects can tell you, you finish one of those and it's like the world over.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. Well, and you just finished a big one right now, right?
That's right. We just literally today we had a ribbon cutting ceremony with Mayor Karen Bass from Los Angeles. 255,000 square feet, $230 million, state of the art, 5-stage, full office and support system campus, 5 acres in downtown LA. And this is actually, I'm glad you bring that up because this is where I'm trying to take my firm now, which is from the nightclubs and furniture to the studio, the Siren Studio, now from East End Mission Studio, which is the name we completed, of the one we completed today, to ideally large scale civic and studio and hospitality projects that have an impact. We have the capability of doing those large projects. We've proven it. So I'm shifting the company into more of those.
So how long did it take for that studio to get completed?
Believe it or not, we designed it in a year. Then they changed the design. So it took 2 years for design because of the client, and 18 months in construction, which was fast.
Yeah, very fast. Yeah.
Yeah, we're actually, our firm is very special in complex conditions. The studio was on multiple zones. It had existing buildings, and we had to design within and around the existing buildings, structure on top of them. So, but that's what we do. Bell Design Group is known for taking on complex projects and just creating masterful works out of them.
So you've gone from kind of this creative hands-on painting and art into the wild and crazy world of CAD design. So how has that worked for you?
For me personally, it's a little difficult. I'm still a hands-on sketcher. When I communicate to my staff, it will typically be with color pencils, watercolors, or sketches. But the reality of the business is it's all building integrated management, BIM models. It's all Rhino. It's all Twinmotion. It's all of the services that allow the digitization or digital representation of buildings. I'm no stranger to those. It's not like I don't know those. I'm in that wonderful age that was analog and digital at the same time. So I am aware of how they work. But as an executive of a company that is 3 countries, 40 people strong, my involvement in the actual creative tools is minimal. So I still maintain my designs with hands-on, with sketches, and always keep, as I was showing earlier, always keep a sketchbook nearby where I can draw out something that's interesting. But most of my direction to my staff comes with giving concept narratives and adjusting the visual.
So what 2 other countries are you in?
We have a firm in Madrid. Which we're growing. We just hired 2 people over there. And we have a wonderful exchange where if you work for any of the firms, you get to actually travel in between offices and work in those spaces. We also have a firm in Rosario, Argentina.
Oh, really?
8 people down there. Yep.
Wow. So you've got projects down there, obviously.
We're starting to. Projects in Argentina are a little bit different. In order actually to do a project down there, I've actually had to buy a property, and we are in the process of developing a 12-unit building, which will be our showcase of building down there. Interestingly enough, Argentina started off as a former employee who went down there, asked for some work, said he had more architects that would like to work, and there are a few things that I have difficulty with in our profession. I have a hard time with headhunters. I think they're ruining us because I think they're plucking out people before they've learned enough from the firm that they're with. And I get the employee chasing a salary, but architecture is the long game. It's not a
Right.
short game, and the amount of people that have short stints do not give me pleasure. I'm not interested in that, and I also have a hard time with someone representing someone else because we should talk for ourselves. So headhunters is one, and the other one is outsourcing. I understand the necessity and the value of outsourcing, but the human aspect of it for architects is really hard for me. So initially, like the mentality was outsourcing, but I quickly did away with that, opened the company, got it situated, because architects want to feel ownership. We want to feel an investment in the work that we do. Just drawing and handing it off, that's not what we went to school for. That's not how our souls are built. So those aren't outsourcing. They're an actual company, and we're going to build together.
Yeah, no, that's interesting because in this day and world, everybody's sort of getting their virtual assistants, or in your
Yeah.
case, probably virtual designers that come from who knows where. And it's the labor costs are probably a lot cheaper, but I could see, particularly in architecture, since I spent 12 years in that, the loss of translation between, communication could be disastrous. So,
I mean, look, I love this profession.
yeah.
Every day I am passionate and happy that I am doing this work. And so my thought is every architect feels this way. I actually, in truth, have yet to feel an architect that, if given the opportunity to just create architecture, does not feel this way. Definitely, there's people who are, they're soured on the business aspect, but just the architecture, they love it.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so telling an architect in Madrid or Rosario in Argentina, hey, you're just a draftsman. All I need you to do is what I tell you to. That's soul crushing for us. I won't be a part of that. I want the people that work for me to be inspired and creative and passionate, because that's how you get the best work. And so that was really the process, and that is the basis mode for our entire company. And we're doing some brand repositioning, and that is the through line is passion, honesty, authenticity, and transparency. And creativity. Obviously, that goes without saying.
And throw in a little fun on the side.
We have a lot of that. In fact, it's interesting. I just came up with, so we're kind of, I guess you would say 60, 70, 65% corporate, 35% familial, which is an interesting mix. Most are like 90% corporate, 10% familial. Like,
Yeah.
firms don't run like ours. Here's an example. We have a lunch and learn once a month where, or like a specialty night, like a happy hour type thing, and we do something special architectural. And this month's is, they don't know it yet, so it's a little bit of a secret. Bring in your favorite line of a song, and then we will have 20 minutes to do a charrette to create a piece of architecture that responds to that line. And then you have to present it, because I don't want to create people who just draw. I want to create people who can talk about their work. I want to create people who get invested in being able to spend time creatively on something that you love, like the line from a song, and then be able to talk about it. That's a valuable asset. So it's growth.
That's fantastic. So if you were to choose, are you going to, well, I guess Edgar Allan Poe, that's not really a song, but
No, that's a poem. As you've asked before, I'm a fan of. I have 20,000 books. I am a bibliophile, as it were. I love reading. I love listening to books. Recently, I've gotten a little deeper into poetry, which for most of my life I found inaccessible. It's just, for some reason, I couldn't get the words other than Milton, right? But like the short, simple poetry. I recently just started reading Edgar Allan Poe and his love poems, and they are so soulful and beautiful. And this is a man who writes about terror, right? And he's American. He's America's poet out of Baltimore. So he's just someone I'm fascinated with right now, and I'd love the ability to pick his brain. How do you come up with a raven on one hand and a poem about Annabelle Lee on another, who you just can't live without? Beautiful.
No, that I hadn't put those two together. That's fantastic. So with the melding of AI and all these different things that are coming down the road, what's your crystal ball saying these days?
We did a deep dive, trying to figure out how AI could be incorporated into our work. There are avenues where it can be successful. They can definitely assist. Well, it's everyone knows you can do it for design, but that's the fun part. So I'm
Right.
not interested in using AI to design. AI supporting design, like using AI to create motion capture or fly-throughs and things like that, amazing. So AI works for us on the back end of the conceptual stage, right? Then you move into design development. The current AI can do a good pass, a good first pass. Getting
Mm,
deeper into the drawings is not there yet, but a good first pass. And so we do use it to do our first round of red lines. Saves time, gets to our project managers, they check everything, then they start adding ours, and then we get deeper and deeper. Again, my firm does very complex buildings, so a lot of times AI is just not up to par. And the amount of prompting required to get it to be understanding ends up being the amount of work we'd have to do for that particular project anyway. The last part of it, which is the part that I really believe it has a place, but it's not there yet, is construction administration.
ah,
Construction administration, you have to pull from so many different resources, combine them all together, and confirm that they're all on the same page, and then deliver them back out.
right.
I would like that to be less of an arduous process. I don't want to have to go to a website to pull a specification, go to Procore to pull the drawing, go to the RFI to pull the information, try and marry all those together, do a sketch, put it all together and that's enormous. If I get that RFI from the contractor, I want AI to go do all those things so I can do the sketch and send it back. And that hasn't happened yet, but I do interesting things in architecture. I have a firm that does accessibility analysis, third party.
Oh,
I
oh,
have a
okay.
company that manages small architecture firms. I'm not a part of it. It's completely separately run, but that was my struggle as a young person, was understanding the business side of it just killed a lot of what I was capable of. And so I started a company that goes out and manages small companies. So those architects and designers can be architects and designers and not 50% businessmen. And one of the other things I'm doing is I'm going to start an AI agent, an app that helps you with the CA. So I'm in process on that one now.
With the CA, the construction
The
documents
construction administration of pulling in all
administration.
of those resources during the time of construction where there's a lot of check and balance with the contractor.
You are a busy man.
I am.
I am a busy man. You are a busy man. Well, so where can people find you, Tima?
So my firm my architecture firm is Bell Design Group, www.belldesigngroup.com. My email is pretty easy, tima@belldesigngroup.com. Phone number 310-573-4300. If you're one of those small firms that needs management, the company is called Operations by Design. And if you're a resort, hotel, or facility owner and you need an accessibility assessment, Accessibility Consultants.
And that's a CAP certified group, I assume.
CAS certified, RAS certified. We actually are national and doing work in Mexico and Canada.
Oh,
So
wow.
we fly out and we do a full disabled access analysis of your facility, prepare a report that tells you what you need to improve, and then if you're so inclined, we give you the architecture firm that can do it for you.
As a sideline. Yeah.
It's sort of self-generating business, ideally.
You
So
have a lot
the truth is we're really good at accessibility. We care about it. It's important to us. It shows up in our affordable housing work. We do somewhere around 6 affordable housing projects a year, and the accessibility is always a big part of it. So we didn't want it to be an afterthought, and in making it not an afterthought, we ended up creating a whole ability to address those elements in affordable housing, facilities, hospitality, all of those areas. So it's not sexy, but it is incredibly vital and important to the world of architecture.
It sounds like you're also moving into ownership of your own properties.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I mean, little by little, I have a restaurant in Venice Beach. I can go on, man. There's a lot of things in my world. One of the things that we're trying to do is, like I talked about in Argentina, is develop We're looking to develop actually a 40-unit building nearby our office. Development is a lot, though. I've tried development about 7 times and failed every time. So I don't want to sit here and say that I'm a success story across the board. But you don't get anywhere if you don't try. And there will be an 8th. I will try and develop again.
That's fantastic. Well, I mean, sometimes you got to go through the mill, so to speak, to get there.
It's the gestalt. It doesn't go away. Just because I'm not making the furniture doesn't mean I don't want to own the building and design the interior. So
Exactly. No, it all comes together. I understand completely.
yeah.
Well, great to talk to you. I look forward to talking to you again in 3 to 6 months just to kind of check in with you. That
Please
was
do.
fantastic. And we'll keep in touch in the meantime. I'm sure there's plenty of things that we have in common.
Absolutely. Yes. I look forward to talking. You're up in San Francisco.
Yeah, we're in the Bay Area. We're in the peninsula area just below San Francisco.
I'll get in touch with you. Maybe we'll have a coffee. I'm doing a project in Santa Rosa and another one actually in the city in right near Nob Hill. Yeah, I can't tell you what it is, but I got a project there, and then I got another one in Santa Rosa. So I'm excited about these ones, and I'm up there maybe once a month.
Well, when next time you fly up, give me a holler. We'll catch lunch or dinner or coffee.
I love it.
Works. That'd be fantastic. Love it.
That's a wrap on today's journey through the SF commercial real estate scene. Ready to share your story? Visit sfcommercialconversations.com/guest. Your insights could lead the next conversation.